Hello everybody, RetroRamblings here again. How are you doing today on this fine Saturday? I'm here again for my weekly Saturday show, RetroRamblings. I believe this is issue 9, which is shocking to think that's been 9 weeks this show's been running. And of course, as of a few weeks ago, I started doing my daily videos, and that's been quite a journey. How are you all doing today? I hope you're really well, and life's been treating you good as usual. And these times that are going on are all not too bad for you. Nothing terrible's happened, or if anything bad has happened, it's all being dealt with as smoothly as possible, and you're not too down. Today I've got a fairly interesting lineup of things. Before I go into that, for anybody who's not watched this show before, I want to explain, because it might seem strange. This is a weekly show that I do called RetroRamblings, and it's an entirely unscripted show, minimally edited. It's only edited for when I start talking to when I finish talking. Nothing else is edited, not cut, so it's natural, as well as natural as I can be, doing this. So it's a bit rough around the edges, which is how I like it. I have done documentary episodes earlier on in my YouTube experience, and I intend to do some more, but they're scripted. And although I like the organisation of scripting, I don't like two things, really. I don't like how it's not natural. I don't like all the editing, because and you're writing these scripts, you're saying I know it makes a nice product and it's good to watch for people who appreciate that sort of thing, but I'm becoming a much bigger fan of the unscripted, minimally edited videos, because something about YouTube, I think, was about the rawness and naturalness of a man or woman or whatever with a camera just being themselves and saying what they think and showing what they do. There's plenty of, I'm not against professionally edited things. Like I say, I've tried to do a few myself, and I will do a few more in future where it's applicable, but I'm definitely more of a fan of just being yourself, because I like to think that our personalities, or lack of personalities, or whatever, or how we make it and not make it. So that's just me. I live up to the name of this show as Ramblings, because I do ramble on. It's one of my biggest things. And I go off topic a lot as well, which is good really that I'm in charge, because somebody was in charge of me going off topic would get me into a lot of trouble, wouldn't it? So yeah, on this episode, this RetroRamblings, I go on about gaming, the world, life, myself, stories, gaming hardware, gaming software, movies, anime, things that I've bought, things that I've had in the past, just a lot of stuff. And that's why it is, it's very random and it's very natural. So I have this tablet every week because it's kind of what I use for anything that I definitely want to remember. Other than that, it serves no purpose other than a prop. So yeah, well, let's have a look. I'll do what I normally do. I'll show you this week's purchases. I'll just go and grab them from my amazing place and put the tablet down. This week I've got, I believe it's pronounced Ico and Shadow of the Colossus HD collection for the awesome PlayStation 3 console. 2 amazing games. Shadow of the Colossus was a PlayStation 2 great, one that really pushed the graphical capabilities of the hardware. So yeah, I've got that. I got this, I can't remember exactly how much for. It was about £5 or something, so pretty competitive price. Ico, I've not played it, but I hear great things about it, so hopefully I'll have a ton of fun on that. Next, X-Blaze Code Embryo. This bad boy is new and sealed. It's a PlayStation 3 game again, because I'm quite enjoying collecting for the PlayStation 3, because it's starting to twinge on retro, but yet you get a lot of the modern features and luxury. So it's a, what do you call them? a story adventure. There's a name for it, something comic or comic. I can't think of the name now. This is the best thing about doing unscripted videos. When you forget your words, you just stammer along. And yeah, but it's one of those sort of controllable story games. Visual novel. I think it's called a visual novel. So, yeah, and it's all anime style. I think it's part of a wider game series or collection, but new and sealed. This cost me about £5 including delivery for a new and sealed game like this. So, you know, I am the hunter. My next game is one that some of you might know on the PlayStation 3, Persona 5. Once again, brand new and sealed. It's an American game, but here's the beauty. PlayStation 3 is a region-free console, so it doesn't matter where the heck it's from, as long as you understand what's going on. Now, Persona 5 is a great game. I've not properly played it, but let's just say I know it's a great game, and this is new and sealed. This cost me about £8, I think, something like that. So you can't fault me for that, can you? This game's great. So there's people who know about this game, and there's people who wouldn't want to know about this game. I mean, there's not much in the middle. I've not sunk my teeth massively into the Persona series, but I intend to amend that. So yeah. The next is not a game, it's a movie, and this is sort of a Christmas present to myself. It's the Hobbit trilogy in 4K. Anyone who's a fan of the Hobbit movies who hasn't got this is probably going wow, because I have an Xbox One X, as any of my regular viewers would know, and obviously that's a 4K Blu-ray player, and I have a Samsung 4K 55-inch curved TV with the HDR, the latest HDR or whatever it's called. So I intend to watch this. I've heard great things about this. I've heard the CGI's cleaned up, the lighting's redone in HDR effects, the colouring, the sound is more levelled off with the music. And then, let's face it, Hobbit was hardly a bad transfer in the first place, was it? So I simply cannot wait to watch this. So yeah, this is going to be my Christmas experience. It contains 4K Blu-ray discs. It contains a theatrical version of each movie in 4K and the extended edition, which is nice because they're both quite different experiences. So I simply cannot wait. So at Christmas I'll be watching this absolutely in awe. And a little birdie tells me I've got the Lord of the Rings 4K trilogy coming through as well for Christmas. So yeah, I'm a happy chappy to say the least. So if I get the Lord of the Rings in my hands before, I will definitely show it on next week or the week after's RetroRamblings. So yeah, and these are selling like hotcakes. If you want one, grab it, because I went on Amazon and they were all gone. So yeah, I got this. And the person who's selling this had sold 360 in a few days and only had about 30 left. So the Lord of the Rings is the rarest. I got it, so I am happy. Oh, happy days, eh? So with that said, I'm going to grab my trusty tablet again. I have a question from my regular viewer and master of detailed comments, Cauldron of Stardust. He asked me some very important questions. He asked me, what's my favourite dinosaur? Now, I've not thought about these questions, so I'm going to answer them spontaneously, because, like I said, it's all about the unscripted, and if that results in me saying something stupid or making a prat of myself, so be it, because I don't have to worry about pride and ego on a high level. So, my favourite dinosaur, well, let me have a think. See, if you can hear any clunking noises, that's my brain working. I'd probably like a pterodactyl, because it was ahead of the curve. You know, to my limited knowledge, dinosaurs evolved, so they say, into birds. And there's certainly some evidence in a bird when you see it without any feathers on. And also when you acknowledge that feathers look very much like scales that have changed the purpose. Anyway, the pterodactyl, it was a dinosaur that was sort of transforming into a bird before that evolution even officially begun. So yeah, and also I always like, and this probably sounds really geeky, but I am a geek and this is a nerdy geeky channel. I used to like the Dinobot who could transform into a pterodactyl. He was awesome. Swoop? Was it Swoop, his name? I used to like his voice and how he transformed, and he was always a bit clumsy and stuff, but he was tough as nails. But he was probably the weakest of the Dinobots, but he was awesome. So there you go. Yeah. And he also asked me a second question. What are my favourite gaming-centred YouTube channels? Now that's a good one. Now I'm not going to have necessarily some highly original answers, but I'll be honest, because honesty is the best thing these days. Probably always has been the best thing. Just don't expect to keep any friends. Anyway, the best gaming-centred YouTube channels for me is I really enjoy My Life in Gaming, because those guys are well spoken. Their production values in those videos are astronomical. Like, yes, they're mostly scripted and done, which I know I was saying earlier about it, but they do it how it should be done. The amount of work they must put in their videos. If I was trying to replicate them, I wouldn't be able to do a video every 6 months. So, you know, and I love it. They're polished. And sometimes they've really helped me with learning about retro gaming when I first began the minefield of trying to play on a flat screen TV. Because a few years ago, before all these wondrous devices were out, it was the Wild West, you know. I remember when I first, quite a few years ago, I got my Mega Drive out of storage, or Genesis, to the American viewers, and I tried hooking it to the TV at the time, which was a 32-inch LG 720p TV, and oh my god, it looked awful. So I upgraded to RGB SCART cables, which I considered the gold standard, obviously, and then I had this horrible multicoloured line flickering about, which I learned that they call, what do they call it? Rainbow banding or something, and all these jail bars and it was every solution of that era gave me a problem. Then I tried this amazing device from YouTube, the SCART to HDMI connector for £25, and then that created this thing where the graphics looked lovely in motion, but then when you stop moving, everything would become a pixelated mess. So I had this minefield. And then these guys came along with the Holy Grail and began me on the road of making my retro consoles look nice on modern TVs. In fact, you know, they played a big role. Anyway, next is, I'll be careful now because I'm being spontaneous now. Before that, I might forget the names of the channels. What is he called? Modern Vintage Gaming. He's fantastic. I love his videos. I love his love for retro gaming and his emulation achievements and knowledge. And he's got a fantastic voice, because some of those Australian accents are awesome. So I'm not a fan of all of them, but some of them, like, he's got a really good voice, you know. And his content, fantastic, and his history, you know. And I can relate to him, some of his stuff that he's seen and done, because I think we're a comparable age. So yeah, Modern Vintage Gaming. Like many people, I was a fan in the early days of oh god, what's he called? I should know this. I'm trying to remember the tune now. This is disgraceful, I don't know. There's the nerd. You know the nerd? He's the Angry Video Game Nerd. So the tune got me to remember. The Angry Video Game Nerd. But I much prefer his earlier stuff, because I know the climate of YouTube's changed, and with the success and with the change, he can't behave how he used to. But in the early videos, oh my god, some of them are funny. The modern ones are good, but they almost seem like a nostalgic echo of his original work. But I mean, there's things behind the scenes that I don't know, and he's done more than I'll probably ever do, so awesome. I quite like GameSack. It's never been quite the same when the other chap left, but I still watch it occasionally. Yeah, so excuse that noise. Yeah, so GameSack's good. They're good, and I like the videos, and the humour's really funny. And they've done some good videos. Who else? So you weren't expecting a single answer, were you? I'm having to think now. I'm searching the depths of this brain. I'll probably forget someone later and slap myself. Not really, of course. Who is there? I'm trying to think. And that's not a bad amount, is it? There's a few newer channels I've been watching that are not bad, but I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Which is a disgrace, I know. What are they called? Well, that's what I can think of anyway. So there are a few others. I tell you what I like. Oh, what's his name? It might be Happy Console Gamer. He's a Canadian chap, similar age group to me, and he's got his passion, I think that's his name, his passion about the his passion about games and his games collection and his memories and the way he talks. And he almost bursts out crying every time he talks about his stories. And he's a fantastic channel. And there's another guy with a similar name, and I might be getting them mixed up, and he's quite good. But he's got a different name now, hasn't he? So no, I like. I know this is a bit awkward, but it's, you know, genuine. It's what you get for having a genuine unscripted video. But something attacking something. This other guy likes an American chap, and he always shouts. His missus always shouts things in the background, and he goes over some quite cool stuff. Robots attacking. Oh, I don't know, but anyway. I'm not going to go searching on my phone for it. But yeah, so that's down to that question. I'm not going to drag this out anymore because I've taken too long thinking, and people don't want to watch a video of a man straining his brain. Is there anything else? My Instagram account finally crossed 5,000. I'm well into 5,000 now, so thank you very much for all the support and help we've had with that. That's brilliant. Now we're pushing on to 7,500. My YouTube has now cleared 400 subscribers. That's an achievement I didn't think I'd get. Thank you very much. Onwards now to 500. My aim is 500 by Christmas. I always have little goals and aims, you know, baby steps. Because you have to have goals and aims where, yes, they go into the horizon, but you've got little achievements on the way to celebrate to yourself, rather than saying, oh, I want 1 million, and you're not happy till you get 1 million. Now, enjoy the little victories, because the little victories amount to the big victories. So thank you for all the support and all the comments and feedback. And I always try and answer and get back to anybody who contacts me, although it's getting increasingly harder the more my social media and things have people, but I'll always try. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, thank you very much. If you have any questions, requests, feedback, constructive criticism, or you just want to make fun of me, anything goes. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow with the usual one of my playthrough videos. Have a great day and weekend. This is RetroBeard signing out. Thank you. See you later.